Hey, how are ya? Like you might have predicted, I'm doing My Little Pony, since it seems like in order for you to enter the club of artists on YouTube, you must do My Little Pony first, and nothing else. And I'm glad to do that. I actually enjoy this show. So now that that's out the way, I'm going to tell you exactly how this video is going to go down. So, most people usually redesigns the girls into better or not better redesigns.
What is that?
And to be honest though, I quite frankly like majority of them, but I thought I should take it a bit further. And by further, I mean instead of changing these cute little ponies into humans or cuter pony designs, I thought I should just drop them in a grim, dark alternative universe that still has issues with public sanitation, that also allows people to be executed in the streets. But getting to the point, I redesigned the 6 to fit my AU called the House of the Grail. This AU, technically D&D AU, but it's a bit different, takes place in medieval fantasy setting in Equestria. Now that you understand the premise of the video, let me discuss the lore of said AU so that you have a better understanding. My AU is called the House of the Grail. It is a My Little Pony alternative universe that takes place in a medieval setting, obviously. In this universe, ponies, zebras, dragons, and other friendly races that roam Equestria are plagued by the changelings. Changelings, in this universe, is more than the love-stealing, corruption-dealing, invisibility-changing, me must steal your man and hook up with Love Pony instead. Who said that? Instead, they actually go out of their way to maim, eat, and impregnate unsuspecting innocents. I turn them into parasitic wasps. Due to how ruthless these creatures are, the mass majority of races throughout Equestria took arms and band together to form multiple types of fractions and soldiers to combat the changelings. This ongoing battle has been waging for over 100 years after a single royal sire went against an agreement between the ponies and the changelings, causing damnation across the land. This can be reversed, however. Located in the deepest corner of the world lies an underground labyrinth. In this labyrinth holds the key of salvation, yet in order to obtain it, one must go through perilous trials that most will not return from. Hopefully, the main 6 can survive this ordeal. Okay, you know the premise, you know the lore. Let's get into the redesigns. Twilight is my first pony I decided to put in the Potter recreation, and when I pulled her out, she looked like she never slept a full night's rest. When it comes to redesigning Twilight, I added more traditional unicorn appearances that was more normalized back in the early 90s and 2000s if I'm not mistaken. Shoot, even the 80s. Larger ears, longer neck, very skinny body with little hair hanging off the hooves. Oh, and a flowy tail with her main colors. MAME colors, you get what I'm saying. Added accessories such as jewelry to add in the fact that Twilight is higher up in this world. So, ponies, specifically unicorns, use jewelry to indicate who's higher up in society. The type of jewelry you have, the more important or rich you are. In this case, the 2 gold pieces on her ears indicate that she is of higher education in this world. So, I also gave her accessories such as clothing and shoes to protect her from harsh elements she'll endure through her journeys. Unicorns in my AU would be weaker when it comes to physical resistance because they use more of the mental gymnastics in order to use magic, and magic being the only thing that could truly wipe out changelings. So, physical resistance is their main kryptonite. Just imagine when they get a slight tickle, a slight breeze against their nose. They'll probably end up throwing a fireball just to counteract whatever the hell that was, killing everybody in the process. Classic D&D moment. Anyway, back to Twilight's clothing. I gave her a thick shawl for warmth with intricate patterns and a little bit frills on the bottom because, yeah, I know everybody says that she's a bit of a messy type of pony. I would like to think that she'll have a little bit of girly things in her little wardrobe of whatever clothes she has. And the robe may or may not make her invisible whenever danger comes, but that's just a possibility. This is a possibility. I also gave her booty so that her hooves won't chip during the rough travels that she'll go through. Finally, I gave her a medallion of Celestia's cutie mark to represent her loyalty towards the horse god. Finally, for her colors, I didn't change her OG colors much other than give her for a slight gradient and more sparkles. You can't really see that. I do have a picture of her having more of again, that more description. But since she's mostly covered, you're obviously not going to see that. Her original colors only need to be toned down a little bit, to be honest. I really like her OG colors. I'm a sucker for purple. And I added her some more famous items from the world of D&D. And there you have it, Twilight Sparkle, the ambassador of the... And next we have Applejack. So AJ, Applejack, whatever you want to call her, design was definitely easier to do. With AJ, she's a earth pony, and she really didn't need to be expanded upon. Because in my AU, earth ponies are usually the ones who runs around and actually get things done because of just how resilient these mares can be. So I didn't really change much other than her appearance to fit her way of life that she has in this alternative universe. So Apple Smack is a local supplier, she always out for money, of course, for a military faction in the Ponyville. And as a supplier and as a member in her guild, she is not only responsible for supplies, but she is responsible to defend herself and others with her fighting skills, making her a very, very, very So when I was redesigning her body, I gave her more of a muscular build since horses in real life are very naturally toned in muscular creatures in real life. And that also includes ponies. I also gave her a stronger neck and thicker legs to handle beatdowns from here and there and to dish out whatever beatdowns she can do. Anyway, AJ will have medium to light armor to counterattack and protect her better in danger. She wouldn't necessarily need booties or shoes, whatever, due to how well her hooves can withstand harsh landscapes due to her, again, earth pony background. So this is where I actually messed up. So I actually did change a little bit about her, and this is particular about her hair. So since she is a fighter, soldier, whatever, she's on the streets, hitting mofos up, coming for their lunch money. I thought, why the hell would you have all that fluff, all that mane, all that whatever in your face? So I cut her hair, and then I balled up her tail hair because I can obviously see a horse just grabbing it and just swinging at her. But yeah, I had to cut her hair, and then I also had to like tie up her tail hair. So she's more efficient. I also didn't change her color palette too much, but I did unsaturate a little bit because I thought she was a little bit too orange, you know, just a little bit too freaking orange. And I added some whites and creams to her hooves and face. Finally, I added her weapon of choice and a few scars for a history at fighting very well and staying alive afterwards. And that's AJ, the fighter. Okay, so I'm running out of time and I only have enough for like one more pony. Sadly, it won't be Pinkie. I wanted to do that. I'm specifically saying this to please my own self because I wanted to do Pinkie Pie very badly, but I already did an earth pony and I'm running out of time. Yeah. So we talked about unicorns, Twilight. We talked about earth ponies, AJ, but we still haven't put closure on our Pegasus, and which is why I'm doing Fluttershy. So, Fluttercute is a Pegasus, and, well, obviously. And in this world, Pegasus are usually the mass majority that make up in the military scene. This is due to the fact that they can break the ankles of changelings due to their size alone. But the downside of Fluttershy is the fact that she is a bit bigger, and when I mean bit, I mean a lot bigger than her other brethren, meaning she's usually turned away whenever she's offered, you know, to help in the military scene. But don't worry, she gets her shine. She is not a fighter, not in the slightest, but again, she's not weak. Due to her ancestry and her undying faith to a certain deity in the world, she becomes a cleric in the nature domain. This means she can use magic without being a unicorn, which is a massive plus. She does encounter a downside of this. In order for her to please her deity, she has to keep her wings completely out of battle and allow only her god to save her, no matter what. Basically, she's trusting a tree to save her. So now that you understand a little bit about Pegasus and how Fluttershy worships a tree in the middle of a bog, let's get into her design. So, with her actual design, I made her extra small. But she's not as small as Rainbow Dash because Rainbow Dash is the fastest damn thing in that universe, and I made Rainbow Dash extra small. But nonetheless, she is small. Pegasus in general have stumpy bodies, legs shorter than a toadstool, with features of tails and feathers for flight. I also imagine that their bones are lighter too, like a bird. Like birds have more hollower bones. I didn't look this up, I apologize, but I think of a horse, but with bird bones, and bones with birds. Horse bird. Anyway, since she's a cleric, religion would be her way of life. She serves nothing but her deity and nature and in all of its creatures. So, with her actual appearance, other than her short stature, I gave her a humongous clip to her hair. So, in this picture alone, her hair is dragging on the floor. I'm sorry, but there is genuinely no reason for you to go on the battlefield with hair that long and expect for you to come out alive. You're not. So I gave her a bit of a bob and just kept it like that. I'm sorry. I don't want her wig to get snatched. Just saying. Anyway, besides her wig, I gave her a bit of accessories other than her sigils. I gave her a headpiece that represents her deity, the tree, and of course, booties for her hooves, and something warm to wrap around her neck for the tough weather changes that she will encounter. Not gonna lie, designing her outfit was, to be difficult. There was no good references of My Little Pony and D&D, which is insane because there's plenty of Fallout, My Little Pony, Star Wars, all this other BS, but not D&D. Really? And I tried looking at outfits and I tried, but I just couldn't think of anything. I'm sorry. But anyway, I added her colors and a few subtle last minute touches to give her more of a gentle feeling to her illustration. And there you have it, Flutters. Flutters of nature. Tree fuck. So that wraps up this video for today. I do apologize for not indulging on the other main characters, well basically the other main three, but I ran out of time and my patience was running thin because just of the amount of things that kept happening whenever I started making this video. But don't worry, I post all the girls on my socials. Please go support me, please. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope I see you all again in my next video. Anyway, get off my video. Bye!